accumulated. Made them drop to 7th on the log from 3rd, and it was looking all good for them, and I was very happy for them. Okay, but of course, this is what makes it football.
Yes, and it's the unpredictability of football. You can't predict it. If you can predict it, it becomes a child's play.
Of course, this is what makes it football. Now, if you also look at teams like Everton, it was looking like they were not going to win matches at some point. They had lots of draws, they had lots of losses. But of course, they struggled, made their way to 13. So that at this point, they've beat the last 6.
And they are even sure of
that is it.
survival.
Now, if you look at the table, apart from the last 3 that have already been confirmed, that's Southampton, Leicester City, and Ipswich. Look at the other 3.
Yes.
Just like you had mentioned.
Spurs on 17th with
Manchester United,
Man U with 39 points. West Ham with 40 points.
Wolves
41.
Everton 42. So it's something close to what we're seeing in the MPFL.
Yes.
Where teams are just stopping with 1 point apiece. Now, Manchester United currently is still about one of the biggest clubs in the world.
Yes.
Look at where they stand, 16, and they're struggling.
It's not looking good at all.
So what is really happening?
Honestly, I don't know what's going on.
This season alone, they've had 3 coaches.
Yes.
They've had 3 coaches. They had about 3. When they sacked the other guy, they brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy to stand in an interim basis. Then he played about 4 matches. I think he had a couple of wins and some drops. They took him out because he was not given a full-time job. They brought in Amorim, and Amorim today has had more losses
than even
draws than wins.
Yes.
So that's why he is struggling. He's fighting tooth and nail to ensure that he uses the back door to get to the Continental. At this point, what is really the problem of Manchester United? They've almost overhauled the team. They've done a number of signings. They brought in big players.
The big players, I don't understand, because the big players, did they justify their big names? That's the point.
People like
I think they're
Syria Champions League player. Winner.
For me, I don't.
Andre Onana, see how much he was bought from Inter. Then Inter, they bought him for 40 million.
Onana started very well. But remember, I can speak for Onana, not because I'm an African. Because yes, listen, Onana is a good top player, top goalkeeper. But as a footballer yourself, you know that when the
team is bad.
Yes, when they are not protecting the goalkeeper, he's meant to be messed up.
Now, this is the irony.
Even the Van der Sar cannot survive the current back four of Manchester United.
Now see even David De Gea that they sold.
Yes.
See how good Fiorentina are currently. They just picked a couple of players. Then they were able to form a team. For Andre Onana, Manchester United bought Onana for £40 million. For £40 million from Inter Milan. Inter Milan now went and signed Jan Sommer for £5 million. And today, Inter Milan, Jan Sommer helped Inter Milan to a number of wonderful, breathtaking saves to land them in the UEFA Champions League finals. So who is losing at the end of the day? See how much Manchester United bought Onana for. He was good at the time. But where is Onana today compared to the Jan Sommer and, of course, the David De Gea that was sold for Andre Onana to have a spot?
The problem is the decision of the management to sign and pick players. For instance, now, there were speculation that Manchester United our own Osimhen
was going to,
because they need a clinical finisher. Some of those guys up front, they are not just doing it. Forget about prospects. Forget about names. Forget about prospects. I don't want to compare it to Aqua United. You cannot be talking about. We need a result. This football is about a game of 90 minutes. You lose or you draw or you win.
See Betis, for instance. There was an Anthony, the Brazilian Anthony in Manchester United, who was not doing very well, who had a very bad run for Manchester United. Betis signed him. Real Betis signed him. I think currently he left on loan, whether it was a loan move or whatever. Today, he has helped Betis to the UEFA Conference League finals. So they'll be taking on Chelsea in the UEFA Conference League finals. From the same Manchester United, will you say the problem is from the players or the management? Because we've seen that players who have left Manchester United have done well in their respective clubs.
Yes, and you know that inconsistency in the backroom staff, technical crew, always affect the team.
What made Cristiano Ronaldo to leave Manchester United?
It was still because of, I think he had issue with the coach or some backroom staff.
It was still the management issue. It was still a top management problem.
Yes, so they need to do something decisive. Because just as they said in the beginning of the program, Manchester United, they are not supposed to be in that position they are.
Is it the chief executive officer? Because a number of persons have pointed to Jim Ratcliffe,
yes,
who is the chief executive officer of Manchester United at the time, right now. Is he the problem? Is it that Manchester United are not releasing money? Is it that the players are not doing well? Or is it that the management they've brought in to manage the players are not doing their job?
Management,
where's the problem?
Those, for me, or my own opinion is that those brought in to manage the club are not doing well. Yes, because you cannot. Okay, for example, when Manchester United won the league and all those things, when they were playing in Champions League and all that, is it not the same owner or the head? Yes. So it's just all about the management, the technical crew, most importantly, because we don't have time to start talking about all
the issues.
Yes, I've supported Manchester United over the years, and I know when they started dropping. It used to be, we used to see Manchester United in the final of Champions League, semi-finals and all that.
Let us move very quickly. Let us go to the La Liga. In the La Liga today, the biggest talking point in the La Liga is Barcelona-Real Madrid. That's usually the biggest game in Spain. And this season alone, FC Barcelona and Real Madrid have played in their Clásico 4 times. And all 4 times, Barcelona have defeated Real Madrid with very big margins. The last one was just yesterday, where Barcelona defeated Real Madrid by 4-3.
Class.
To put up a very good performance and to consolidate their position on the top spot with 82 points after 35 matches in the La Liga.
And they have a big margin, 75.
You see?
The Real Madrid are on 75 while they are on the 82. So it's almost done.
Now, it is almost done. What is also happening to Real Madrid? The Galacticos that we know, what is the problem? Is it the same thing that is happening to Manchester United? Today, an update, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, fellow football fans, fellow football supporters, right now as we speak, Xavi Alonso will be the new manager of Real Madrid from next season. He has left his role in Bayer Leverkusen, having led the team to the Bundesliga last season. That's where Victor Boniface plays. But he will now be the head coach, the manager of Real Madrid from next season. What has been the problem of Real Madrid?
Technical crew.
But they had a Zidane that won a Champions League back to back. And Ancelotti.
Wait now.
Carlo Ancelotti has also won Champions League for them.
What you need to know is that when you overstay,
it becomes a problem.
Yes, it becomes a problem. Even though at the time we say consistency, but at times
I don't mention consistency because we're going to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about that because for instance, look at Manchester City.
Pep
Guardiola. At the time when the coach stays for a long time, he runs out of idea.
Okay, so that's the law of diminishing returns.
Yes, but he would think that he will have it all. At the end of the day,
but Alex Ferguson stayed with Manchester United for
his own was a peculiar, and he was achieving results consistently.
Yes, until he left.
Good. So it's not everyone that had the grace of Ferguson. So yeah, when you are doing your comparison, you also understand. So that is the thing. It's actually technical crew. For me, I always say it when the team is not doing well or not doing well as the case may be, you need to point at technical group or the players in some instances. If a player is not giving you a result, don't play him and drop it.
There is an Mbappe in Real Madrid. Yesterday he scored the hat-trick. He scored all the 3 goals for. There's also a Vinicius, who people are touting that he should have been the last world best player. There is also Rodrigo. There are a number of players. Yes, there is also the Luka Modric, who is of course aged, but he's doing very well. There is the Thibaut Courtois in the defense. I mean in the goalkeeping department, who is doing very well for himself. So by the time we gather all of these players, look at the backroom staff.
Yes,
what should be the problem?
The backroom staff.
So it is time.
Look at the Super Eagles. I know it's not the time for Super Eagles, but look at the Super Eagles. Yes, now look at our position in the World Cup qualifying match.
Well, it is what it is.
When you have all the players, almost the best in Africa. And Akpe was saying yesterday that he's disappointed that all the players couldn't do what South Africans are doing. Some persons are
the South Africa thing is a very peculiar case.
Yeah, because they have a strong league.
They have a strong league,
and they play the league. Good, and they play the team. They build the team around the league.
Of course,
so players.
So that's a very different thing.
And they have Hugo Bruce.
True.
Yes.
Let us move very quickly to the UEFA Champions League, where we're expecting Inter to play PSG. That's going to be on May 31st. That's going to be on the last day of this month of May in 2025. So Inter up against PSG, and we will also be expecting in the UEFA Europa League Tottenham against Manchester United, as we already have.
Yeah, I will give that to Manchester United without wasting time. Even though
why?
Yes, no, no. Wait, now let's look at the statistics. Even in the current table we showed in the EPF.
So they are close.
Yes, 17-16. Yes. Manchester, they are on 16.
Tottenham Hotspur
are on the 17th.
So why will you quickly hand it over to Manchester United?
And then if you also look at the current form, you know that Manchester United. But let me just base my sentiment on the league table.
Okay, you know. Very quickly to the Conference League. Betis will be up against
Chelsea.
Betis are sixth. Betis are sixth on the La Liga table. Chelsea is not anywhere. Okay, at least I think somewhere around the 7th position or so. Yeah. So who will you give it to?
Chelsea, they are on the 7th. No, they are not on the 7th. Okay, they are on the 5th position.
Who will you give it to?
Because of my safety.
What safety are you talking about?
You know how violent Chelsea fans can be. But you know, yes. So
that has no role to play in this.
Okay.
Yes, that has no role.
The thing is that because of our Nigerian sentiment to any teams, I'll give it to Chelsea.
Why will you give it to Chelsea? There are also a number of African players in Real Betis.
I know, and then based on paper, I think Real Betis will get it. But because of maybe fan base and our own support base
and the experience for Chelsea, yes. Chelsea have played more
finals,
continental finals
than
Betis.
Yes.
However, it is not Uhuru. For me, it is 50-50. That's why I put my fingers like this.
It's okay.
Yes, my fingers will be crossed.
Okay. Then in the Champions League,
are you giving it to PSG or Inter
Milan? You know, Kanu played in
Inter Milan. Defense.
Inter Milan played in Kanu played in Inter Milan. Bafemi Martins played in Inter Milan.
Yes.
And all that, and they all won the Champions League. So
your coach played there?
No, he didn't win Champions League.
No, he didn't.
He didn't even play in Champions League. When he was in PSG, he didn't play in Champions League.
So why are you giving it to?
Inter Milan, based on their past records.
It's okay. All right, gentlemen, let us come very quickly back home. I'm happy that we already have the result on the screen. That was how things did stand after match day 36. 37, because only one more is left. Match day 37. Remo Stars emphatically defeated Ikorodu City 4 goals to 1.
That's what they call class.
And of course, they were crowned as champions. The MPFL champions.
Yeah, that was class.
I won't bother you with all of the other details. Akwa United played a 2-goal win against Bayelsa United.
Unfortunately, that may not be good enough.
See Abia Warriors. You talked about consistency.
Yeah,
we were going to come here.
Yeah.
Abia Warriors, they are on the verge of qualifying for Continental.
Yes.
We talked about consistency. Imama Mapakabo has held that team together.
He has done very well.
And they are even in a better position than Eyimba.
Exactly. So I am telling you.
So for consistency,
it's even shocking.
Will you now say consistency is a problem here?
No, Imama Mapakabo was a league winner, remember?
Yes.
Good. So, you know, even though don't remind
and
me,
he understands the league.
Don't remind me that Kennedy is also a league winner.
But he is.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is that Imama, that experience and he's consistent. He has stayed for a while in Abia Warriors. It's actually helping him.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the last match, which will be deciding, will be against Ikorodu United, which they are also expecting to, So it can be anybody's game.
So let us look at the table. Let us look at the table so we can interrogate the table and, of course, understand the chances of
Akwa United.
Yes, Akwa United
and Ikorodu City and Abia Warriors.
So where are we at this time? Are we hopeful? When I say
let's see the
because I'm wearing Akwa United, yes. So you're carrying the.
And I'm hopeful that we are going to qualify. But I don't even know how that kind of hope, Sha. Qualifying for the continent.
Now, currently, as we speak, Akwa United is in a very dire
position.
Very tight position.
18th on the log.
18th on the log with 44 points.
And they are going to play Heartland.
That is also struggling
to survive.
Heartland is on 17th position with 45 points. With just 1 point adrift. Yes. Now, we also have El Kanemi Warriors.
How many does that?
Because we checked.
Yeah, El Kanemi have 46.
46.
And if Heartland drops, 45 cannot sustain them.
So can a draw help Akwa United?
A draw can help Akwa United. A draw may not help Heartland.
Will not help any of the teams.
Yes, and Heartland will be playing nowhere.
Yes. So Akwa United will be away from home.
Akwa will be playing away from home.
Yes. So any hope for Akwa United?
You won't hear it from me, but I can assure you, because I'm on a live TV, Aqua United, their chances, it's very dicey. But all hope are not lost. Anything can happen.
At this point, this is where we will begin to draw the curtain on the program, because after now we'll go to the Super Eagles, the Invitational Tournament. What should Aqua United do? Whether they beat the drop or they relegate, should we use the Abia Warriors template? Should we introduce, when I say we, I mean Akwa Ibom State, Aqua United management, Akwa Ibom State government, the handlers of Aqua United generally? Should we copy the Abia Warriors template and bring to Aqua United, where we can have Remo Stars did the same thing. Remo Stars did consistent coach, consistent players. Not at the end of the season we have players leave and
like for me now, I can tell you, if the coach agrees to stay, I don't know whatever happens, but whatever happens, whether we beat the drop or we delegate, if the coach can stay, he should be allowed to continue. He came when the
situation will he want to stay
in
and
the
continue?
That's the point.
The NNL.
Good. That's why I said if he will stay in the NNL, let him be allowed. But if God does any miracle in Owerri, after all, if it's football, anything can happen. If they survive in Owerri, to be a very good one, the coach should be allowed. He has done some good work. We've seen, obviously, even though we had some home losses, which was very disastrous, but that's football for him. If he can be predicted on TV, on anything, it would have been easier for everyone.
How about the players?
Some of the good players should be allowed to stay. Let them not reduce their. The problem with NLL is that they downgrade them, they bring down their wages,
the salaries and all of that, and they will want to move to greener pastures.
Good. So if some of the good players can be encouraged to stay, it will be nice. So Aqua United, they belong to the top 4, but it happened. I must commend Paul Bass. I'm not being sycophantic or whatever, because just as I told before the program, Aqua United, they've survived over 5 years, 5 seasons
in the league.
When I came here in 2011, Aqua United relegated 2012, relegated 2013. It was just come up, But the management should be encouraged, even though nobody is happy with the results, sincerely. But there are still hope.
Very quickly, let us move to the Super Eagles and
Unity Cup.
The Unity Cup. If we can put that invitational tournament on the screen, it will make so much sense. We'll be having at the GTech Community Stadium in Brentford. We will have Ghana against Nigeria. Then we will have Nigeria against Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. These 2 matches will hold. The first one against Ghana will be on the 28th of May 2025 at the GTech Stadium in Brentford in England. After that, it will be on the day we'll be watching the Champions League final. We'll be watching it side by side with the match against the Super Eagles versus Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. You had said earlier that this match is not FIFA approved
at all.
However, what are the take homes? What are the points? What will be like? What we should be.
Let's just believe that the new coach is going to
Eric Chell.
Eric Chell will use the Unity Cup tournament to see the team and see where he can improve ahead of September World Cup qualifying matches. That's the only thing. If not,
and of course, bringing the players that have not been used so far.
The likes of Christian Tusuche and others, we should see them and see how they can improve the team. That is the only thing I can say, and I believe it will be fruitful.
All right, so with that, it's a wrap on Fair Play this afternoon. Thank you so much for being a part of us. We'll do this again next Monday, God willing. From myself and John Paul, it's a good afternoon.
Stand up.